back to the Mid Atlantic Esports Conference Day 4. I'm back once again to cast for you, Consort, and joining me once again is the lovely Q. Q, how you doing today?
Yo, I am living the dream, my friend. It's the middle of the week. We got some more Rocket League action, and I'm expecting a banger today. How about you? How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm excited. I am ready to see some exciting Rocket League for one more week here, man. It's been every game we've watched so far has been just fantastic, and it's looking like it's going to be more of the same this week as well.
Yeah, we got Shenandoah versus Old Dominion University. Shenandoah is currently sitting at 2-1. Old Dominion University currently undefeated. I do believe you and I were talking about a little bit. We'll kind of touch on it briefly. This does look like this is probably the biggest test for Old Dominion University thus far in the season. So we'll see if they can keep that undefeated streak alive.
Yeah, looking forward. This is going to be their toughest one so far. So they've been undefeated up till now, but can they keep it? That's what we got to see here. And of course, Shenandoah is going to be fighting tooth and nail to put that first loss on their record.
So, of course, just like always, we got best of 5 action over here. So, not quite your best of 3 shootout where like you really got to make sure you're putting your best foot forward in game number 1, but it's not a best of 7 either. So, you don't have too much time to really try and dissect the opposition. Both of these teams being on somewhat of a hot streak should be kind of interesting to see how things go. One thing that is kind of interesting, however, Shenandoah last week got swept, whereas Old Dominion last week were the ones doing the sweeping. So you and I, we both do enough when it comes to esports. We know how big that good old word of momentum can be. So I'll be kind of curious to see if that plays a part today.
Yeah, the momentum is a much bigger factor, I think, than a lot of people give it credit for. An object in motion tends to stay in motion, and it tends to stay in the motion in the direction it's moving. So that means what goes up tends to continue going up until something big happens to shake it up. That said, I'm a little surprised to hear Shenandoah got swept last week after the resilience they showed in that week 1 match that we watched. Being able to go all the way to game 3, taking, pretty heavy losses, and then come out of nowhere and just dominate the game for the rest of the set. That's hard to top.
Yeah, I guess Alvernia Gold is who they dropped to. Alvernia also being an undefeated squad. But you know what? Let's not just talk about it. Let's be about it. Let's get down and do what it do. Game number 1, Shenandoah versus Old Dominion University. Wow.
We didn't even have time to finish the intro before ODU has points on the board. Right off of the kickoff there, beautiful speed flip, P-Shooter cheating up to take the ball, and is just so perfectly on time. I mean, you gotta really commit to that. That's brave.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's good if you are able to get the early creep up, but if you get caught out of position, you can pay those consequences. This time pays off for them, gives them an early goal. Does look like, though, now they're going to have to retreat back to the defensive end, as it was Shenandoah who won the kickoff. Now Shenandoah retreating to D.
Wow. Powerful shot coming out from Goat. The save was there, but it just wasn't enough. Kept it high and low right over the net, and then Crow comes in to follow it up.
It's just one of those unfortunate situations. You get the stop, but all it is just sitting there, the biscuit in front of the basket. That's good eating right there. 2-0, and we're not even 21. We're just over 20 seconds into game number 1 here.
Man, and once again coming out aggressive. The last 2 kickoffs after that first point, 3 seconds of the game, the last 2 kickoffs have kind of left ODU in a scary situation. Maybe Shenandoah has something they can capitalize on there, but you only get as many kickoffs as you get goals in the game, so it's a tough one to leverage.
It's definitely interesting. I feel like even up at the RLCS level, we've been seeing across the main broadcaster and the qualifiers, kickoff has become more and more of a topic. And I feel like if these squads are able to start putting together the strategies, it's really the best way of kind of giving yourself a little momentum. You get yourself a little bit of possession. You can usually get yourself a person or two with some good boosts if you're able to play your cards right. And, I mean, Old Dominion, they've at least been able to use the one to their advantage, and I wouldn't be surprised to see if we find another later.
Absolutely, absolutely. Elam going to be trying to clear this out of the corner here. Gets bumped a little bit awkward, but is going to have possession of the ball. Here we go downfield, immediately challenged. Man, ODU is just really putting pressure on.
Yeah, ODU is just playing really fast right now. They just seem to be faster. They're getting to a lot of these balls a little bit quicker, allowing them to maintain the possession. They're spending a lot of time down here on this blue side of the pitch. I mean, only 1 shot has been registered as far as over on the side of Shenandoah. They've been held pretty quiet.
Yeah, and I think speed is going to be the narrative of this set looking forward, because we know that Shenandoah, what they're good at is when they've got time to think and make those gameplay adjustments, that's where they start to excel. But man, at this pace, where do you find time to think?
Yeah, just absolutely suffocating. I mean, you're even seeing the rotations on the defensive end for Old Dominion getting really tight, really quick. Able to meet right back with that resist around the midfield line, then going to be able to play downhill and be able to do so with so much of the field right in front of them. You are going to see a nice little touch towards the backfield. It's going to register as a shot, but wasn't really much as far as a threat towards the actual net itself. Now they're trying to put the pitch wide open net for Goat God, and it's going to be 3-0 here in favor of Old Dominion.
And that blazing fast speed from ODU coming out in spades here. Mango just not able to get to the ball in time to really have a chance to set up that touch. Ends up whiffing it, and that just leaves the ball right over an open net.
3 goals, 1 for her player over on that orange side of the field. We're going to see that it's going to be ODU once again winning the kickoff. Lots of possession and pressure down here on this blue side of the field. Rising up in the corner off of the pass over to P-Shooter. P-Shooter going to drop that down. Second touch going to bop it in, and it's going to be 4-0.
Man, this is looking like a difficult game 1 for SU, but you know, we've seen difficult game 1s out of them before and seen the whole set flip, so it's not over till it's over, but I think game 1 is looking a little tricky to pull the W from here.
Yeah, I mean, right now it looks like it's just Old Dominion's field, and Shenandoah is just unfortunately playing on it. And right now, you got to find some semblance of offense. I mean, you've only been able to get yourself 3 shots as opposed to the 4 goals on 8 of them, thanks over from ODU. And of course, it's hard to be able to record shots when you're spending a lot of time with your back down on your half, but you've got to find an answer, whether it's on the counter or just maybe even starting with a little bit of the aggression with the demos and bumps, but we got to get something going.
Yeah, but you got to ask yourself where. I mean, I don't think I've counted a touch from Shenandoah yet that hasn't been challenged. I mean, they are just aggressively playing possession of the ball. They refuse to let SU have a turn. And just to drive that point home, P-Shooter just gently tucking another one in from across the net.
Yeah, able to tap that one home, and the Hats go ahead and hit the pitch as well. That's 3 of them for P-Shooter in our opening game here. I mean, really just kind of doing it all. Got an assist and a save as well. Go got 100% goal participation with the 4 dimes so far.
Woo. I mean, hey, man, when you're a good shooter, you're a good shooter. What can you say?
Ain't that but a fact, right? And you're even going to see here, they are down on the defensive end, but don't be surprised to see them switch to the field pretty quickly. It's going to be P-Shooter here. It's going to be contested. Hero's going to have to return the round, but gets the control temporarily. P-Shooter, the last one up, pushes the ball forward. It's down here on this SU side. It balls up. A demo creates all the space that's necessary, and it's going to be 6-0.
Man, yeah, this is just getting further and further away from Shenandoah here, and they're just trying to find any kind of answer they can take into, later on in the set. I mean, even just, we've talked about this before, we talk about it all the time, even just getting 1 goal here, even if it does not change the outcome of the game, it matters a lot as far as the psychological game goes.
Yeah, I mean, especially if it continues going this way, right? On game number 1, if we did see, I thought that Mango was going to be able to punch that one home. You could at least get yourself a consolation goal. But you need to get at least 1 here in the final 60 seconds. I mean, we see ODU still bringing out the pinches, still trying to make things work and continue to run up the score. You got to at least show some sort of fight before the end of this game, because P-Shooter is going to find a 4th for them, 7th for the squad, and it's 7-0.
Man, and they are just shooting non-stop. I mean, we've got a grand total of, 12 shots already over the course of the game, 7 of them successful. I mean, they're just taking every opportunity they can get, and they're just not letting SU breathe with the ball right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's like sharks in the water, just circling their prey, looking for a time to strike. Here's Mango, though. He's going to be able to get a little bit of space with the demo, but it is Kuro coming from left to right, able to get the save. Pocket's going to be picked. Ball's going to be sitting here in front of the ODU net, but no one there to be able to drill it home. One more save from Kuro, as now Kuro has gotten a couple of them things here in the last couple of minutes, sending things aside. As an open net, a P-Shooter can get it, but Mango sends it to the side of the field.
Yeah, SU's taking his time, trying to get control of this, see if they can't get something coherent going, but immediately, once again, challenge. There's just no time to try to set these things up. There's already somebody rocketing at your position.
The final seconds closing down here, and for game number 1, Old Dominion coming out, setting the pace. We talk about how sometimes a display of dominance is being able to punch the ticket to Brazil, but they're not even giving a courtesy goal up here. 7-0. I mean, Old Dominion looking great.
Yeah, yeah, and they've certainly proven they can play fast. And
Yeah.
fast may be all they need to be here. I mean, if they're just quicker to the ball, quicker on top of making the next touch, always challenging what SU is doing. I think that that's going to carry them through this set. So you got to be wondering what SU's thinking here. How do you have an adaptation? I have a theory for you though. Walk
What's
with
that?
me for a moment.
All right.
ODU has been very aggressive. It's been very difficult to get control of this ball without them immediately challenging it. One thing I have noticed is that their boost tends to be a little bit on the low side on some of those more aggressive moments, right? If I'm
Okay.
SU, I'm thinking, I don't know if we're ever going to get a chance where they're not like immediately challenging off the rip. What we might need to do, what I might be thinking about is maybe I challenge as boost efficient as possible. They're
How
on
so?
fire. Just trying to force them because ODU is not afraid to use boost to make these
Right.
shots. So try to take challenges, take 50s that are more boost efficient than what they're putting out. Right, like ODU is on fire, and maybe the best way to deal with that is to just suffocate it. Run them out of oxygen, run them out of boost. Make sure they have to play the defense game because they can't afford to keep challenging.
Let them burn out their own flame in a sense. I kind of like where your head's at here. Because I feel like often we kind of talk about when you have a team that's playing aggressive, the counter attack is where it's at. But with the speed that they're playing at, I don't know where those counter attacks come from. That might just be the case, but hopefully they can figure out something here because if they aren't able to figure it out in the next 5 minutes, Old Dominion's already going to have themselves on match point.
Yeah. Well, which again, not the place you want to be, but also not a place that we haven't seen Shenandoah come back from. So, and already seeing ODU coming out just as aggressive as game one. We're going to be seeing, I think, largely the same story from their end of the field here. Ooh, a nice shot from Elam though. Not going to be able to sink Kuro there for the block, but you're at least making them think, right? Making them question that aggression.
Mango's going to be retreating back. That's going to be a whiff. It does require a second player to step up here, and rotation is kind of going to have to come out of place. You do see Kuro stepping up, going to be able to win the 50. Keeps the ball down here in this offensive end. They're going to try and see if they can flip the field, but to no avail. Mango gets the second touch, looking for Kaiser in the middle of the field, but Kuro rises up, picks the pocket, second touch, sends it over into the corner, looking for a teammate here for a shot, but gets sent aside.
Oh, and Mango almost having an opportunity to do something, but just finding another car underneath of his there in the middle of trying to make that dribble happen. Instead, it's going to be back on SU's side of the field again, and just shot after shot on net. SU staying alive for now, but for how long? I mean, ODU just seems like they got endless ammunition to spare.
We are only but 90 seconds into game number 2, and this ODU squad has already registered 5 shots on the goal. We talked about their speed, now playing relentlessly here as well in the offensive zone. That's going to be a touch up, second touchdown. That gets sent aside, but you can see the clear hasn't come across quite yet. It is going to come across with that second touch, but no one able to follow it up for this. So a very quick visit down into the offensive zone.
Yeah, and then right back to SU side of the field and into the net there with the demo on the defender to boot. P-Shooter just going to send this way downfield, and this is one of those shots that would be, fairly easy to defend from most angles, but, when your car explodes, that makes that job a lot harder.
Yeah, and you can see Mango trying to double time it on the way back. Instead, inevitably just ends up hitting it into their own neck, but now it's going to be up to see if Shenandoah finds a quick response here, because if there's one thing we know about this Old Dominion squad, you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. They have no problem running up the score, and while you were able to hold them down for a little bit of time, these horses want to get out and run.
Yeah, and they're not being shy at all about taking the demos this game either. I mean, just if you're in the way, get out of the way.
Ooh. From Kuro going from one side of the pitch to the other. That's going to be a save from the net. Now P-Shooter are going to try and follow it up. Big booming clear, looking for Mango off the pass. Second touch, not going to come through. Now it's going to be Gokon. Second touch off the back wall. It's actually going to be a pass for Kuro, using every last inch of the goal line from side to side until the ball crosses the goal line. And it's ODU now up 2.
And what a pinch off the wall to set this up too. Kuro just sending a fantastic pass there, and the defense just doesn't seem to be able to deal with it. I mean, we see Mango, we see Elim, we see Kazi back there making saves, but it just never seems to buy them any field position. Ooh, hold on though, Elim gonna come out of nowhere to eliminate the flawless game here from ODU.
That's big here. You're able to cut this lead in half, and there's still plenty of time on the scoreboard here as well for you to try and make an additional play. I mean, 3 shots over on the side for Shenandoah. Not really much to be writing home about, but I guess you could talk about the efficiency. 1 goal within those 3 shots. Meanwhile, you got to find a way to shut down this opposition of ODU. They've already got 11 shots.
Yeah, and counting. I mean, this is probably about to be one more, or maybe not. Hold on, Kazi able to get a loose ball down here on ODU's side of the board. Going to try to set up the pass. Elim not going to be there in time. Kiro going to take control of it on the way back out. And now it's once again SU on the back foot.
Elim's going to be able to at least get the jump up, get the touch, which gets recorded for the save. Still trying to look for the clear. Shenandoah is going to be able to get it from the help of Kiazi. Also off of that demo as well, buying there a little bit of additional room. Mango, 1 touch, looking for the second, but gets stuffed by P-Shooter. Ball still in front of the net though, so you do got to worry about getting the clear. Go God going to be able to at least push forward, gets the first touch, leaves it all the way up to Mango. P-Shooter up in the air, passing play coming across from Old Dominion University, but Kiazi shutting it down.
Yeah, and ODU just continuing to shoot. Crow gonna send another pass across the net there. Easily defended this time, but all these easy defenses in a row. Hold on, wait, Mango may have gotten something. Got loose with the ball for just a second, and boom, there's the counter, there's the goal. Sniper-like precision here, too. Look at this, up off the wall. Too high for this defender to deal with, but also just under the crossbar. I mean, you gotta love those shots that just hit the crossbar and then still spike in, because they're so hard for the defender to read. You know, yeah, you're like, do I jump? Do I not?
It's a perfect look, because especially because you do know that position of the defender, right? You're looking up, you're like, it's touching the post, right? Right? And then all of a sudden, when you know you should jump, it's too late. You see the ball cross the goal. And in this case, now all of a sudden, we're tied up in our closing minute. This might be an opportunity for Shenandoah to take themselves a game and go into game number 3. The rubber match all tied up at 1.
Oh, and I love this aggression coming out from SU now, looking for the demo across the net, too. ODU is having a little bit trickier of a time the last 45 seconds of gameplay or so, trying to keep control of this ball, but they are still fighting for it. Gokad is still taking his challenges. The over-aggression, though, we've seen a couple of shots on an almost undefended net that are starting to make me question this offense.
Big old clear going to come on in here. Kiazi retreating back. Passing play to P-Shooter with a shot on target. Mango going to come in with the save. We've got 12 seconds here. Looking for the clear is Shenandoah. This time around going to get the big hit. Sends it down into the corner here on the side of Dominion University. But that's going to be a touch up from Kiro. That's off the backboard. Can anybody sit there and finish this home in the closing seconds? P-Shooter rises to the sky. Ball touches the ground. And we're going to overtime.
Oh man, all right, this could be the start of the comeback here for SU, or it could just be one more game in the bag towards the win for ODU. It really could go either way here, but it's going to be SU trying to strike first. Oh no, an unfortunate whiff though off the wall.
As we give the position back over to ODU, pass off to God. You can see triple commit, you get the save, but to what credit has it happened? Maybe out of position, save going to come in here, so you've at least gotten it past the 50-yard line. Double whiff here, double fake, you tell me, I'm not sure, but it's going to be Elim moving the ball past the midfield line. Left off for Mango, gets sent to the corner. Demo coming across from Kiro to create some space.
Yeah, P-Shooter trying to dribble downfield, but Kiazi immediately up the challenge. Going to be able to hit that big boost and get right back to 100 as well, but ODU keeping the pressure up as well. Mango's going up the wall, but it's already back at the center field. It's already back to the net. Gokad with a huge jump to catch that pass.
And as much as Shenandoah was able to keep side by side with Old Dominion, one shot is all it takes once you get into that overtime, and Old Dominion will take game number 2 and put themselves on match point.
Yeah, but you know, this game too looked a lot closer. I'm not gonna call it, but I'm gonna say I'm rooting for it. I'm rooting for SU to like come back like your game one, round 1 and take 2 games out of nowhere. I really would like to see it.
I mean, you know me, Consort. I'm always down to cast some more Rocket League, man. Give us 5 games for the content here is what I'm hoping for. The reverse sweep, let's see it. However, Old Dominion, while maybe held to less goals this time around, their shot counter still being very, very impressive. 16 shots, which has me just a little concerned over on the blue half of the pitch for Shenandoah, because law of averages tells me that if you let Old Dominion shoot that many shots again in game 3, they're probably putting it across the goal line more than 3 times.
Yeah. I mean, if previous statistics hold, that is absolutely going to be the case. I gotta say though, and as much as I pride myself on my analysis, sometimes I'm wrong, and this time I was. Shenandoah got back into that game, got that sudden death off of some really well-timed, well-placed counterattacks. They found the weaknesses. They found the spots where ODU was over-rotating, being a little too sure of their offense, a little too sure of what they were, the progress, the momentum they had, and just lost a couple of straight line shots, low and slow into center net.
Can Old Dominion keep their undefeated season alive, or can Shenandoah pull off the reverse sweep? Only time will tell. Let's go ahead and get started with game number 3. We see a bump coming across from Goat God, trying to leave a wide open net, but that shot sails just a tad bit wide under P Shooter, but right into the lap of Kuro, who's going to get a big old booming clear down to this other side, looking for a second touch, but it's going to be a nice little clear back to the midfield line here for Shenandoah.
Yeah, and ODU, again, like just really stepping up this offense, as we've seen before, too. Kuro already up, double tap off the wall, way out to Goat God. He's at least going to be able to keep it up. There's going to follow up available, though. Mango has a moment out, loose with the ball, but no boost to really do anything with it, so he's got to throw it away.
Going to be able to hit this thing towards the side, going to be able to at least thrive and not have to worry about the danger temporarily. Now going to have a clear going the opposite way, following things up. Elam rising up, I think looking for a center, but Kuro rising up and going to pick the pockets in their own right. I think was looking for Goat God instead. Going to go to the corner and make a play by themselves. Mango has other things in mind, and with P-Shooter a little bit of a fumble potentially going towards the back instead. No, paying off the sidewall. Good pass for Goat God, but Goat God over one, looking to go over the second pass to Kuro. That finds the back of the net, and Old Dominion take the lead in game number 3.
And just look at the mechanical mastery here. Like, popping the ball up and staying that close to it alone is hard enough. Being able to also manage to keep up with it, track a defender, and pop over a defender and set up a pass all at the same time, like, that's crazy.
Took a lot of control and definitely should be found on a highlight reel somewhere at some point. Put that thing on YouTube, man. I'll tell you what, peaking at the right moment, giving yourself the lead in game number 3. They ain't looking to play around. I know we talked about wanting them to go 5 for the content. I think Old Dominion want to have a quick night.
Yeah, I think they are. I think they're ready to be 3 and done here, and it's going to be up to Shenandoah to say no.
Oh God,
Elam's got a solid catch here, but heading back downfield, throws the ball away, but is able to re-challenge off of Kuro there. But man, all 3 members of ODU just so ready for these individual situations as they come out, man. Just even when SU has the ball, it feels like they're just already in the perfect position.
Yeah, I mean, we've been seeing a lot of like the team play coming out from ODU, but of course, as I'm going to start praising ODU, it is Shenandoah able to flip the pitch and flip the script here. Nice little play in the corner, pass over to Mango, no one in front of him, and Elam, baby, even stealing the goal there, but it's perfectly fine. It takes teamwork to make a dream work, and we're all tied up at 1.
Yeah, Mango was driving across that net with 0 boosts and a song in his heart, but couldn't quite get it. Thankfully, there was a teammate there to follow up. Kuro, I'm sorry, not Kuro, Elam there slamming the goal home instead.
Now with things all tied up at 1 as we do approach that midway point here in game number 3. It's Old Dominion with the ball, moving up into that offensive zone, but it's only a brief visit. Goes up to that midfield line, met with a little bit of resistance here, and P-Shooter, I think, was looking for a pass to go to God, but you can see rotated back. Had that full boost, allows him to get up, then move downfield to put a little bit of additional pressure onto the ball. Mango pushing up and at least getting that ball in the midfield. You're seeing right now the tussle around the midfield line. There was a demo that buys some space, a wide open net thanks to that demo. It's going to be Kuro with a second goal.
With a huge spike too, man. Like just the angle on this drop here, massive.
I like seeing the demos. I don't know if you heard that in the background there, but I know I always listen for them on the replays, and it was the one that was back over basically by the back post, prevents that defender from being anywhere close to being able to make the play. Now Shenandoah has 2 minutes to try and find some sort of response. Otherwise, they're looking at getting swept and going to 500 on the semester here.
Yeah, Mango trying to set something up for a team there, but just nothing really available. Kyazi's at least gonna send the ball back downfield. Here we go. This might be the moment. Just one good redirect off the wall, and Kyazi has it. And this is looking like Shenandoah's route to victory is finding these little counterattacks. Like, look, ODU is so sure they're completing this pass. The idea of the interception never crosses their mind. That might be the blind spot we need to exploit.
Yeah, you know, maybe instead of looking for the demos and the bumps, maybe more playing the passing lanes might be it, because you do know that this Old Dominion squad is going to be playing aggressive. So if you can jump one of those passing lanes when everyone's up, there's no one to be even try to making the save on the other side of the field. We saw it there on that last one. Let's see if they can duplicate that here in these closing 90 seconds and be able to extend the series.
Yeah, well, they're going to have to deal with whatever Goat God is cooking up here first. Goes to the flip reset, doesn't quite make second contact with the ball, though, so Mango is going to slip out on the defense, but ODU is still firing away. They got those extended magazines, and they are just shooting.
67, now 65 seconds here. ODU, we know before they had the ice in the veins to be able to shut things down in the overtime. It looked earlier like they were trying to have themselves a short night. Hero going to try and push up into the corner. Not going to be able to get connection with that ball. Now it's going to be under P-Shooter. A potential opportunity here, but Elim fumbles the bag.
Yeah, and this is so tough, too. 46 seconds left, and if you're Shenandoah, you know that you just need to stay alive. Just give yourself an opportunity to find that one mistake, find that one pass interception that can win you this game 3. But you got to do it while this offense is bearing down on you 24/7.
It's gonna launch a shot on the target. Elim sends it up. P-Shooter gonna tap it back down. Second touch off the sidewall, and that's gonna be Old Dominion with the goal. 22 seconds left from them pulling off the sweep.
And P-Shooter just shattering the net on that shot off the double touch off the wall, and possibly shattering Shenandoah's dreams of taking this set just with that. I mean, they got 22 seconds, so it's got to happen now.
Hero here going to be able to at least burn some more time, sending this thing deep down into the Shenandoah territory. Mango is trying to rise to the sky to at least be able to avoid some of the people on the ground, but you can see Met and able to actually break away with the ball was Goat God. 5 seconds. You want this ball to be down here on this blue half, and then you just need it to punch down. But you know what? Let's get one more for the road, says Goat God, and it's going to be Old Dominion able to take this thing home 4-2.
Yeah, decisively putting the period at the end of the sentence that was this set. ODU walking away with a solid 3-0 and looking dominant. I mean, the offense was just suffocating. We hardly had room to talk.
Yeah, they were able to end this series with 2 very dominant performances. It was definitely Shenandoah in that second game started to figure things out, but I think what we saw was what a lot of teams have already seen, or at least 4 other teams so far this semester, where it's hard to play a full 5 minutes and be able to keep up with the pace of this Old Dominion squad.
Yeah, it really, really is. And I mean, points to Shenandoah for finding an adaptation and finding, the weak point they were looking for to start getting points on the board. But with ODU playing this fast, it needed to happen faster to have a chance to put a dent in the set.
So I'm sure for Old Dominion, well on their way to feeling good towards the end of the semester here, sitting at 5-0. We look at the other side of the pitch after this game. Shenandoah sitting at 500. This is time to really kind of kick in with that clutch gene here. We got to get in the lab and make sure that we still have time to finish things home strong. And, I hate to say it. We were talking about hoping for 5 for the content, but concert, that's going to end things for us tonight.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be it. But catch us next week because we will be right back here with round 5.
Make sure if you guys haven't already done so, hit that follow button down there in the bottom right-hand corner on the screen. Hit the subscribe button if you happen to watch over on YouTube. I think we're streaming on YouTube too, right? Anyways, also make sure you got the notifications on so we can catch y'all back here for more action across all of our different titles throughout the week itself. Until we catch y'all back over here for the next one, though, man, don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard. All right, y'all, that's Consort. I'm Q for the rest of the crew from the front to the back. You have a great rest of your week. Peace.